So I think in terms of answering the question of how do you push this particular government, I think if it were possible to hold this government to account by presenting evidence about what course of action is more conducive to the public good, we would have a very different kind of government than the one that we do. So I'm not sure it is possible to push this particular government, but perhaps it is possible to exploit a political fissure within the current composition of the Conservative Party and this government. Because I think one of the things that we're talking around in lots of ways is the way in which I think the anxieties of middle-class parents shape and dictate education policy. And I think that one of the things that grammar schools do is that they exist in something of a symbiotic relationship with fee-paying schools. And I think the existence of grammar schools gives people a way of participating in a socially segregated educational environment without having to pay fees. And they can say, well, you know, notionally, this is meritocratic. Anyone can be good at that kind of multiple choice question. And it's a way of kind of whitewashing or making palatable the kind of economic inequality which fee-paying schools make explicit. And so I think this idea of the way in which education policy is shaped around middle class anxieties is that it's something which perhaps you can exploit a little bit in terms of, you know, the Red Wall MPs, the 2019 intake, although many of these so-called Red Wall MPs are themselves privately educated and grammar school educated, despite presenting themselves as, you know, tribunes of the working man. But perhaps that is a politically strategic fissure, which is much more, I think, about culture than it is actually about having an economically just vision for the country, which is something that you can push this government and the Conservative Party on. Ultimately, I don't think that this is a government which can really be engaged with on the level of fairness or justice. I think the key is to build an alternative and powerful pole of attraction, whether that is the Labour Party or something else entirely. I leave it up to other people's judgments, but I actually think that the case has to be built elsewhere.